All right, hello everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with our nightly extended update on the forecast. And as you can see on your screen right now, tonight we are just all focused on the heat. Now, look guys, this is Austin, Texas. It gets hot here. Look, I think we all understand that, but this is serious heat that we have in the forecast. We have 3 weather impact alert days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, even beyond that, as you can see, look, it is still going to be, I think could easily still be triple digits through this weekend into the beginning of next week. And then as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even when we fall out of the triple digits, we're still easily in the 90s. Now, we're going to talk about a whole slew of records and numbers to pay attention to this week, but this number on Tuesday, so 103, all these are going to be easily daily records, but 103, that's triple digits, so that would be the third earliest first triple digit day on record for Austin, so that's kind of the first thing we'll watch out for. Then Wednesday, we have 105 in the forecast. That would be the hottest all-time May temperature ever recorded in Austin, going back to 1898. Right now, that record is 104. And I'll tell you, we have 105 in the forecast. There's some numbers that are even hotter than that. So this is going to be pretty big time heat wave that we're dealing with over the next couple of days. I think this would be pretty significant even in July or August, but the fact that this is happening in May makes it even more significant. We do have some heat alerts now, so there's a heat advisory in effect for the I-35 corridor to Bastrop, Caldwell County, then out into the Hill Country, all of our Hill Country counties except for Mason County. 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. both Tuesday and Wednesday, tomorrow and Wednesday. This won't be everywhere, but high temperatures in spots as high as 110 degrees will be possible. And the National Weather Service, they're saying they're going to kind of take this day by day. It's possible even beyond Wednesday. I think especially to Thursday, there could be some more heat alerts that are needed for parts of our area. This is a live view outside from our tower cam. If it wasn't about to be as hot as it is going to be tomorrow, we'd be talking about how hot it was today. This already jumped up about 10 degrees from the day prior. We're going to jump up another 10 degrees or more for tomorrow. So we were in the low 90s today for the airport, 91. Camp Mabry hit 92. The average is 86. We weren't up to records today. That was 98. But tomorrow, I think we pretty easily will beat those records. Still, as we do this live, it is just after, let's see, it's 7:09 right now. Temperatures are upper 80s to low 90s outside right now. It is 89 in Austin, 91 in Lockhart and Luling right now. Lando, I believe, was up at 93 earlier. So again, you can already tell today, like, okay, things are starting to get going in a pretty big way here, and this is just going to ramp up even more. We did have some really pretty high thin clouds drift through as we got into the end of the afternoon today. As you go east, so this is the unsettled weather that we kind of got like grazed by over the weekend. On Saturday, we had a few of those showers and downpours move through. And a few of those, by the way, produce not big hail, but a decent quantity of little small hail. So a few hailstorms on Saturday. But now we turn our attention down to the southwest, which is where this big ridge of high pressure is developing. So here's the upper level low that brought us the cooler, more unsettled weather of the weekend that is finally moving away to the east. And this ridge of high pressure right now, the center of it is like just off the Baja coast, and this is going to strengthen as it moves into northern Mexico and eventually into South Texas. So this is a pattern that especially, look, if we were late June, July, August, yeah, we'd be saying this is classic setup to get us hot weather. It's the same setup, it's just that we're dealing with it in May, the heat dome coming in a little early this year. Here's my forecast tonight. These mornings have been really nice over the weekend. We had some 40s in the Hill Country this morning. It won't be that comfortable, but this is still pretty nice, all things considered. For the morning tomorrow, about 63 degrees in Austin. It will be kind of partly cloudy overnight, just those high thin clouds, a south wind. Closer look at the Metro and I-35 corridor. Round Rock about 64, Georgetown 63 in the forecast for you. And then Taylor 62, Pflugerville, we have 63 in the forecast. Here's the plan for tomorrow. This is a dry heat in the forecast tomorrow, which means it's going to be a quick warm up. You can see by 9 a.m. it's 77, 1 o'clock 99, 5 p.m. 103. I've got another hourly forecast here just so you can see the breakdown. Not bad in the morning, 60s. That weather impact alert tomorrow will begin at 1 p.m. At that point, it is already 98. By 3, I think we're already in the triple digits, and we'll say 103 for the afternoon high tomorrow. Now, there's an off chance. We've been talking about that 104 number, which is the all-time hottest May temperature on record. Look, there's a chance we just get that out of the way tomorrow. We'll be watching this closely, and I think that tomorrow is going to be a good indication. Look, I'm highly confident it's going to be triple digits and it's going to be hot. But as I mentioned, We have some models which are just throwing out some honestly kind of crazy numbers, saying, hey, 110, 111 might be possible. I think that is overdone, but if we get into 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow and all of a sudden it's, 106 already tomorrow, that will give us a pretty good idea that, hey, like this does mean business, and maybe we're looking at even more serious numbers as we go into Wednesday. So we'll be watching that closely for tomorrow. Here are the numbers area-wide tomorrow. This is, as we mentioned, a dry heat. We have the dry line, which tomorrow is especially going to make it into the hill country. And the dry line itself might not make it quite into the Austin metro. The air is just going to mix out, so the humidity is going to drop either way. But behind the dry line, Lando's at 108 tomorrow. Man, Mason's at 106. Fredericksburg is at 104. Johnson City is at 105. Even to the Highway 77 corridor, we know these areas in the coastal plains, they hold on to humidity a little bit better, so it's going to be more humid, but the air temperature will be a little bit cooler in our eastern areas. But even there, I mean, it's flirting up close to 100 for those spots too. Closer look at the Metro and I-35 corridor. Round Rock 101 for you tomorrow. Georgetown 102 tomorrow. Leander 101. Laga Vista 101. Lakeway's at 103. Wimberley 103 tomorrow. San Marcos 103. You get the idea. It's going to be triple digits for the vast majority of our KVUE area, including over the Austin Metro and the I-35 corridor. And then we go into Wednesday. And look at this. This is the peak of the heat on Wednesday. Austin, there's our 105, which would be that all-time May hottest temperature. And then some of these numbers in the hill country are just crazy. Again, if this was the middle of August, this still would be big heat, but especially in May. 108 in Johnson City, Blanco 105, Burnett 106. 109 in Llano, again, is a 110 type number possible in some of these spots. I think it is. And then even down to like LaGrange, 101, Schulenburg, 99, Giddings, 100. And the record, by the way, on Wednesday is 97. I think we're going to blow past that at like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's the trend over the 5 days. Again, I showed you the 10-day to begin, but just to give you another idea, the peak of the heat, I do think is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then we start to come down a little bit Friday into Saturday, but I've revised my forecast a little bit. I still think it's possible we could clip off another few triple-digit days into the weekend and even into the beginning of next week. So these numbers like 15 to 20 degrees above average for this time of the year. Now, the heat is one thing. Obviously, this is dangerous early season heat. We get used to the heat here in Austin, but those first couple days that are really hot can still be problematic. You're just not used to it after the winter and the spring, so that's dangerous. But the other side of this we really don't like, again, it's May. I know you can't tell based on this forecast, but May is a month that we rely on to get heavy spring rainfall before we go into the drier June, July, August, summer months. And there's just literally nothing next 4 days. And then the only rain chance on my 7 day is a Saturday, and it's 10%. And it looks like, hey, maybe almost all of that rain misses us. So it is really not good news to be missing out on rain in May. This also has impact on like the soil moisture. So if we just start clipping off triple-digit days in May and we don't get rain at the end of the month, and again, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. It could easily flip back the other way later on this month. But if we just keep clipping off 90s lower triple digits, well, as we go to June, July, August, well, I think we just continue to rattle off these triple-digit days, and that's just not what we need given the drought conditions. So a few numbers I want you to be aware of. I mentioned this third earliest triple-digit day on record, so we're past May 4th and 7th now, so that's first and second place, but tomorrow I think we'll very likely hit this, but any of these days this week would slide in at third earliest first triple-digit heat on record. A few other numbers to watch. My current forecast has a daily record high temperature each day for the next 7 days. Just pretty amazing. Honestly, I'm trying to think back. I don't really know that I've made a forecast like that here in Austin before. Maybe on the colder side like 2021, but as far as like heat records are concerned, all-time hottest May temperature could be broken on Wednesday. So that's that 104 number when we have 105 in the forecast. We talked about third earliest first triple-digit day. This is another one that we'll watch. Could break the record for most triple-digit days total in the month of May. As of now, that record is held by 2011, not the summer we want to be comparing things to. 2011 had 3 triple-digit days in May. I think we get at least 3 this week. And again, I showed you that 10-day. I think it's very possible we could just rattle off, 7 or 8 over the next little while. So we could easily break that record as well. So a bunch of records and figures and stuff that I think will show that this has potential to be a big time, maybe maybe kind of a historic type early season heat wave that we're dealing with. Tonight, partly cloudy, not as cool. We'll drop down to 63. Then tomorrow, records 98. We're going to be 5 degrees above that. I have 103 in the forecast with that very warm south-southwest wind, and then it's a due west in the hill country. 3 weather impact alert days: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, 105. Thursday, 102. And so I get it, like this gets a little bit arbitrary. Well, why is 102 a weather impact alert and 101's not? The way that we drew this up, I sat down and I went through, I tried to simulate a year's worth of weather, and I tried to think through scenarios that would give us a weather impact alert. And what we came to, we wanted to avoid situations where, like in July and August, where we have heat advisories every day. I didn't want the 7-day to ever be like all red so that, you guys think that we're just going crazy and trying to hype things up. I wanted to avoid that. So a heat advisory does not technically prompt a weather impact alert for us, but the first heat advisories and the first triple digits of the season do, which is why we have weather impact alerts Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we drop them off because we'll have already gotten through the first of the season. But just because this is so early, this still is going to be impactful. But I just wanted to explain that. That's why we're red the next 3 days and not the next 4, even though the numbers don't change that much. Friday, 101, records 99, so that would break the record. Records 99 Saturday, I have 100. Records 98 Sunday, I have 100. Record is 98 Monday, I have 100. So there it is. Again, I have 7 days technically of triple-digit heat in the forecast. I'm highly confident that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will hit triple digits. But then when you start, again, 100, okay, well, what if we stay just below and hit 99? Is that possible? Yes, but I think increasingly this could be 7 straight days of triple digits, 7 straight days of record-breaking heat. And again, increasingly, I think Wednesday is poised to be our hottest May day ever recorded in Austin. So that is what we have in the forecast. All right, I'm going to take a break. We're going to have a full newscast coming up at 10 o'clock here on KV. We'll go through the latest forecast data and all of that. And then tomorrow, we're going to have live streaming weather coverage all afternoon. So Grace is going to do the midday show. Then we're going to be streaming on KVU Plus all through the afternoon. We'll have live temperature tracker. We'll have forecast updates. We'll have news-related heat updates. We're going to have all of that. So I just want to give you a heads up. That's what we'll have going on tomorrow. No shortage of weather information. And then I'm about to record a fresh YouTube video as well. So maybe you're watching this on YouTube. We're going to do a recorded version as well that will be up on our KVU YouTube page here in the next 30 minutes or so. So y'all stay safe, stay cool. We'll keep you updated on this heat right here at KVU.